Well, hoping you've had a fantastic week. Welcome to another edition of the AFCON highlights. And today we are here to talk about matters AFCON. Just before we get into the topic of discussion, I just felt it necessary to give you some of the results of the games that were played yesterday, and the following is just how the results stacked out. And I think we had this discussion yesterday here on the show. The game we were talking about yesterday was Mali versus Senegal. The game ended at a barren draw, 0-0. Zimbabwe versus Guinea. Zimbabwe pulled a first one on Guinea. The game ended 2-1. The other one was Gabon versus Morocco. The game ended 2-2. And then Ghana versus Comoros. The game ended 3-2 in favor of Comoros. Remember, yesterday we were talking about the fact that Comoros should have taken the slot that Kenya did. There was another reason why probably Kenya would have been there. I don't know, I'm not hating, but hey, we've beaten Ghana before, so probably this will have been another opportunity for us to beat Ghana. But all is water under the bridge, and today we are here once again to take a different dimension in the whole conversation of AFCON. In terms of the footballing world, there's always been a conversation about the quality of the local coaches vis-a-vis international coaches. So today we are going to be giving you a profile of some of the coaches in the AFCON tournament. They're going to be comparing their performance to international coaches. Joining me once again on the show is the one and only senior African football analyst, that is Eric Chilanji. Chilanji, another day to talk about matters of football on this particular platform.
Thank you, Nation. Always a pleasure to be here. I think the matter is weighty because in any game, they say the coach decides the team, the results. So when we have any problem, the coach takes the problem. I mean the blame. When the team wins, the upload is on the coach. So it is a very hot seat that whoever sits there must be ready for the consequences.
Okay. And we've had this conversation locally. You remember, is it last year? Actually last year and even before last year, that is in 2020 and in 2020 and 2021, we've had this conversation about the need to hire local coaches. And I think it's something that even happens locally here, because we've seen our two biggest teams here, that is Gor Mahia and AFC Leopards. I've always had that inroads, international coaches making their inroads. And now we're here to talk about the influence of international coaches. Before we delve into the conversation, a very first one that Comoros pulled on Ghana yesterday. Personally, I didn't expect that performance. Looks like Ghana have a reason to go and put the house in order.
I think Ghana has been having problems. Into this tournament, they really struggled to come in. And I told you some times back that their squad was in transition. They are transiting maybe they need to bring in new players because they've had this team from around 2008. The same team of Ayu brothers, Asamoah Gyan. These are guys who've been there in Ghana for so long, and they need to have a new breath, and it has really shown itself outright in this tournament. They've not been able to qualify. The last time Ghana went out in the group stage was in 2006 AFCON in Egypt. And they've also kept their weight for long. It's about 40 years.
40 years.
Yeah, the
Actually, their hashtag going on social media is hashtag break the 40th, but clearly it's not going to happen this time.
And then the funny thing here is that they've gone down to Comoros. Imagine being eliminated by Comoros. I thought it was only Kenya to cry, but now we're in the same group as Ghana, crying that we've been eliminated by Comoros. But great thanks to Comoros, they were able to dispatch Ghana. Despite Ghana being 10 men, I think the moment they conceded the first goal in the 4th minute, it was very evident that they were going to have a very long night, and really that was what happened.
Okay. I think for me, one thing that probably stood out in the whole gameplay of Ghana towards this tournament, especially in the group stages, is how coming into the games they had tactics, but then outright in the middle of the game, they seemed to be frustrated, and then they started becoming physical. It's the frustration. I kind of like sense there was a lot of frustration from the Ghanaian team. Actually coming from the game with Gabon, actually just from the word go, there's been a lot of frustration from the Ghana side.
I think to begin with the first game with Morocco, they had a good game in the first half, but midway down the second half, they lost their heads, they forgot themselves. That's why Morocco was able to score them a goal in the 82nd minute. The same thing happened in the Gabon game. Ghana was the first to score in the first half, but when they came back in the second half, they were really slow, very sloppy with possession. They stopped playing, they forgot themselves. They also allowed Gabon to equalize in the dying minutes, about 88th minute there. That's when Gabon were able to get a draw. And from there, it was really evident that pressure had now crept in. Even at the end, there were scuffles here and there. They were red-carded. And now coming into the Comoros game, it was pressure and pressure on Ghana, like it was a must win. They committed so many players in front and were punished early in the game in the 4th minute. It can really tell you how Ghana were very impatient with the game. They were committing silly mistakes, and that's why Comoros was able to punish them easily. To my Ghana brothers, the star is not shining in this year's tournament, but doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. We do have another time. That is going to be the AFCON tournament. It's going to be happening again next year, so we hope that next year we're going to be breaking the 41st. Chilanji, when we continue talking about scores and team dynamics and everything, I think we'll be here for the whole day. I think it's time for us to shift gears into the topic of discussion. As I mentioned as you're starting, the influence of the international coaches vis-a-vis the local coaches. And one coach who has actually stood out in the course of this continental competition this year and also in 2019 was Aliou Cisse. Cisse, just for those of you who do not know who Aliou Cisse is, the following is just a brief profile about the current coach of the Senegal team. He was appointed to the Senegal team in 2015. He took Senegal to World Cup and was at the AFCON final in 2017 and 2019. And also we have he's won 40. I think in 2019.
In 2019.
He played the finals.
In 2019 he played the finals when he lost to Algeria. Riyad Mahrez. So Chilanji, Cisse comes from a generation of the golden era of Senegalese players. You know, we had the likes of Henry Camara, El Hadji Diouf. And how would you rate his performance generally in this tournament?
In this tournament, I think he's yet to show his true colors because Senegal has been below par. Yes, they are fortunate. I mean, to qualify to the next phase because they only won one game, a penalty. It was 95th minute, and I can count that on as luck. They've drawn the other 2 games, and in their group they've not faced a big opponent, and they've struggled. So in this tournament, I think Aliou Cisse needs to do something to his team because this is not Senegal we know. It's been a very top African team, very coming first in the FIFA rankings for the last 3 years, and so far not so good for Senegal, but generally he's been a very good manager for Senegal, being that he's a local boy. He understands the team. He was there in the 2002 World Cup where they caused miracles, beating defending champions France. And if you look at his records of 63 games that he's managed so far for Senegal, he has 40 wins. That is a very, very pretty return for a local coach.
And probably one thing that people do not know is Cisse was one of the earlier African players who played for PSG when PSG at that time, if you're playing for PSG, you know, at that time the likes of Ronaldinho used to play for PSG, and he was able to play at that international stage. How far do you see his tactics going to work against other managers? And we are coming shortly to talk about other managers managers in the team. Would you give him a chance? He has a good record. You mentioned 63. You know, in the 63 matches, he's won 40. Yeah, that's a good record.
Drawn 14.
Yeah.
He's only lost 9. And I think in terms of understanding the dynamics of the African game, he might be an edge above the other managers, especially those ones coming from foreign countries, especially the European-based managers. He might be have some better knowledge about the African game, about the dynamics of the game, the physicality of the game, because he's equally played it, and the way he's been able to create the Senegal team is a team of stars all over, the likes of Sadio Mane, Ismail Sarr, Mendy. There's so many of them, but he's been able to calm them. There are no big heads in the Senegal squad. So up to now, he's done pretty well overall. But in this tournament, he needs to do more. Though we've had cases where maybe big teams enter into a tournament where they begin slowly, but they pick up as the tournament progresses. Maybe if that one happens for Senegal, then it'll be still a heads up to maybe to go up to the finals again.
Okay, I think one of the things that stands out for me about Cisse is the fact that the likes of, and you mentioned the likes of Sadio Mane, they are big stars, but you could look at the way when they come back to the Senegalese team, they're not thinking about I'm a star in Europe, you know. And I think that's something that probably other managers can borrow on, because I think most managers are struggling with managing players.
Yeah, it's usually called the man management. Man management that is able to manage player by player. He's able to juggle them, to put them together and know who is who. It demands a lot of discipline. It demands a lot of work. It demands a lot of dedication. It demands players to fight for the badge. That's why everybody is fighting to be in the starting 11 for Senegal. And when we have such a kind of situation, the results will tell on the field of play.
Okay. One of the things that people are talking about as we wrap up the conversation with Cisse, one of the funny things that people are coming out with during the AFCON 2019 is he was the only Rasta man in the AFCON tournament. He was the only coach who had Rasta on the, you know, and you know our Rastafarian brothers, how they identify so much with dreads. But that's just on the lighter note. Chilanji, the other coach who we have to talk about is from Ghana. That is Milovan Rajevac. The following is just a brief intro or a brief of information that you need to understand about the coach. The coach is Serbian born. Probably one thing that has not been included there is the fact that he has coached the Thailand national team, the Qatar. He's coached in Qatar and has also coached in Saudi Arabia. So coming into the Ghanaian team, he had a lot of influence and experience. He was reappointed to manage Ghana in September 2021 and then led Ghana to the 2010 quarterfinal World Cup. Chilanji will never get tired talking about the 2010 World Cup where Ghana almost proceeded from the quarterfinal.
Yeah, and this is the man that was in charge, Milovan Rajevac from Serbia, and he did a very good job. It was only, I think, a Samoa Gyan who kept Africa out of the
quarterfinals,
the semi-finals of the World Cup. He was really making a history for Ghana. And God forbid, he's 68 years old, and maybe if you ask me, his good days are gone, because when he was at Ghana that time, his performance was really on point. But once he left Ghana, he had stints in Qatar, stints in India, stints in Thailand, and he was reappointed back. I feel like maybe he's lost some better days where he was the big manager. Is found a disjointed Ghana at the moment, because he's the one who created this team, this team of the IUs,
the Pates,
Pate, Asamoah Gyan, the likes of Wakaso Mubarak, John Pansil, John Muntari. Those kind of players were created by him. And when he comes back, he finds these players, most of them are aged, maybe winding up their careers, and I think he's not been able to turn them back into the the vibrant boys that they were when he came to Ghana back then when he had his big performance in the World Cup. So I feel like his days are really have gone. It was not maybe the right reappointment for Ghana.
They should have gone for somebody
They should have gone for just a local coach.
Yeah.
Despite him doing a good job earlier, but they should have gone for a local coach, because also in Cameroon there are rumors that his language is not really binding well with the players. The kind of English he speaks and the Ghanaians, I think they're not getting one another well in terms of instructions. That's why Ghana has really struggled in the tournament. So yes, he was a good coach, but I think his days are gone.
Okay, so Ghana is already out of the next round of the competition. What probably do they need? I think right now they are going into a transition phase.
Yes.
Because the IUs probably might not be there, say in the next 3 or so years. So how, and you maybe I'll want to get your experience based on your following of sports in other cadres of the league. How do you think Ghana should approach this transition phase? Because the coach is old enough, he's had his heydays, the team is already retiring, you know, they've already had their heydays. How should this transition period be?
During the press conference yesterday after the game, he said that when he was appointed, his main goal was to qualify Ghana to World Cup. Qatar 2022. At the moment, they are the last knockout stages. They have qualified, which shall be played in March. They are waiting for the tour to be done. But I really doubt if he'll be there to manage Ghana at that time. I'm really worried for him. He might get the marching orders after leaving Cameroon, because for Ghana, this is a dark history. Going down to Comoros. In fact, in the group stages, that is a very bad news for Africa, not even for Ghana alone. Because these are African giants. So I believe he will not be there. He's likely to be sacked, and maybe the rebuilding begins from there. Who is the manager that Ghana is going to appoint? The coming manager, which kind of players is he going to select? And it's time maybe he begins a new team from the under 20s that the IUs graduated into the big team. He needs maybe to begin from that point, to have a wider look, relook at the team, and maybe bring in just fresh blood to sparking up Ghana again.
Speaking about bordering on that conversation on Ghana, I think it will be best for us to segue into Comoros, because the next coach is Amir Abdul. Amir Abdul was appointed in 2014. He has 10 wins. That is the manager for Comoros. My director will give me some of that information. He was appointed in 2014. He has 10 wins, 15 draws, 14 losses, and displayed a total of 39 games. He managed to qualify Comoros to the AFCON 2022 at the expense of Harambee Stars.
Kenya.
Are you impressed by his style of play?
And I think this is a fairy tale, big one for African football. For this man, Amir Abdul, Frenchman, he really had a very low profile when he was appointed to the Comoros team. Nobody knew about him. He had really not done much into the game, but since he took the team, I think he's really raised the profile of the Moroni boys, because qualifying them to the AFCON for the first time, this is their debut tournament, and they get 3 points. Against who?
From Ghana.
Ghana
of
4
all
times
teams.
champion. I mean, he deserves a lot. He's done a lot for Comoros, and even if they exit at this level, stage in the group stages, I think they'll go out with their heads very high, because their performance has been good.
In this particular,
they were in a group which had Ghana,
Gabon.
I mean,
Yeah.
You need to give them.
They were the
thumbs up.
underdogs in that particular
Sure.
group. Yeah. Nobody will have.
Morocco.
Yeah, Morocco.
Yeah.
Nobody will have probably given them green light.
Any chance.
Yeah, any chance of
Yes.
performing in this particular one.
So, I
So
think for Amir Abdul, that is a good work.
okay. Chilanji, we quickly move to the next coach, that is the Nigerian coach, that is Austin Egovoen. Hey, such a huge name. And the following is just some of the things that you need to understand about the Nigerian coach. He was appointed as the interim manager 3 weeks to the tournament. And I think we've had this discussion with my analyst Chilanji here on the influence of that in the Nigerian squad. Just 3 weeks to the tournament, and he replaced a long-serving manager, that is Genot Roll, and then led Nigeria to 2006 AFCON third place finish, and then won AFCON as a player in 1994. Chilanji, Nigeria has a lot of drama, and I think this is just one of them. He was appointed 3 weeks to the tournament. He's not coached during this tournament. There's somebody who's in charge of the team. So how would he's actually
he's the interim. There is another coach. So he's the coach for the tournament.
That's the drama I'm talking about. That's the drama I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah. So there is that. Let's start from the point of 3 weeks being appointed into the tournament. Are you impressed by his performance so far?
For Augustine Egovan, I think that is exemplary. I can say so exemplary because Nigeria are one of the title contenders. If you see their game and results so far, they were not expected, but they've turned the tide. And they look like the real team in the AFCON for now. I think given that Nigeria, yes, they sacked their manager, but they were a bit wise to reappoint a manager that was there with them before. He was the manager during the 2006 AFCON in Egypt, where Nigeria finished third. And I think going by that experience, that's why he's been able to come in and produce these results. He was also part of the Nigerian squad that won the 1994 AFCON. So his profile tries to border with that of Aliou Cisse because they are former internationals.
Players, yeah.
They understand the teams better because they've been part of the playing unit, and when they transit to management, they are in better place. They understand the dynamics. And for him, when he was appointed, the major job that he was given was AFCON. Yeah. So he's just doing his job. Maybe with a thought they might have a second blink on him
winning the tournament. Yes. I think one of the interviews that he did when there were links of him joining the Nigerian squad, he hinted of a possibility of a long-term contract with the Super Eagles. Do you think he has the experience to perform even well in the World Cup, which is going to be later on this year?
Possibly he should, because he's done better before. When he finished third in 2006, I think that was a clear indication that this is a coach who is capable. And from 2006 up to now, he has added a lot of experience into his managerial career. So he has a lot to offer. And given that he's been able to brush aside teams like Egypt, shows you that this is a man with full potential to move the Super Eagles to a better position than they are now. Yes.
Chilanji, we quickly move from West Africa to North Africa, and you're talking about Jamel Belmadi. In case you're wondering who Jamel Belmadi is, Jamel is the Algerian coach. The following is just a profile of the coach. That is, he was appointed as the Algerian coach in 2018. He won the AFCON tournament in 2019 and has a record of 35 games unbeaten until the Equatorial Guinea defeat this past weekend. Jamel Belmadi, a man who's well decorated in this particular tournament. How would you rate his performance? He had a surprising upset to Equatorial Guinea this past weekend. Do you think he has a saving grace into the tournament now?
He's doing badly at the moment in the tournament because Algeria have only 1 point so far in their group. and they are in a situation where they have to win their last game against Ivory Coast. Is a must win for them to have any chance of qualifying. So they are in some kind of trouble, yes. But apart from that, he's had a very colorful career, coaching career with Algeria, going for 35 games unbeaten. It's not a joke. 4 years unbeaten, because since October of 2018, Algeria has not lost a single game, and they were only 2 games shy of equaling the records set by Italy. And whatever he is, maybe he must be cursing Equatorial Guinea for spoiling his party. But for now, I think for that duration of time, he's done a very exemplary job for Algeria. He's turned them into African giants, because at the moment, if anyone is told is going to face Nigeria, they have to prepare themselves seriously. They may not fancy playing against Algeria, because Egypt was the best side from the north, but now they've been overtaken by Algeria, playing very good football. He doesn't have world-class players in his squad, apart from maybe Riyad Mahrez and a few of them, but he has players who understands teamwork, and he's turned them into players who has to play for the team. They give everything, they work hard for the team, and that's why Algeria has been able to win against sides which has more class than Algeria.
Chilanji, speaking about Algeria, their major fixture is going to be tomorrow against Ivory Coast. Do you think Belmadi has the fighting chance in this particular one?
He has, but there is a lot of pressure on his head. He needs perhaps to be very careful, unless he finds himself in a situation like the Ghana one, where he wants to win, yes, but the pressure exceeds him, and they end up conceding. So they are capable of winning Ivory Coast, but I think Ivory are in better position than Algeria, even to fight for a draw, because for them, I think they're already in. So it's just a matter of finishing up their group stage fixture, and they'll really trouble Algeria. Algeria have to do a lot to win that game.
Chilanji, the other team that has pulled a lot of surprises in the AFCON tournament is the Sierra Leone team. The last time they were in the AFCON tournament was 25 years ago. Now they're back into the tournament, and they're causing upsets, man. And they're led by the coach, that is John Kester. The following is just a profile of John Kester. The famous result is 4-4 away draw to Nigeria, and he was reappointed as manager in 2010 October, led Stars back, that is Sierra Leone Stars back in AFCON after 25 years. Chilanji, the qualifying tournaments, the qualifying rounds of the AFCON tournament were not very easy.
They were not easy.
They've knocked out teams that we probably expected.
And I've told you that in African game, when you play away and you score more than 2 goals, I mean, you're just on point. For him to go to Calabar and get a draw of 4-4 against Nigeria, that was a clear sign that he's in for good things, and he's been able to guide Comoros back to AFCON after a 25-year period. And that is a good sign for him. That draw against Ivory Coast is also a very famous result for them.
But that goal will is always going to be haunting the Ivory Coast goalkeeper. Unfortunately, he lost his dad a day later. After that loss to Sierra Leone. How far do you see, very quickly as we wrap up this conversation, how far do you see Sierra Leone going in this tournament?
Sierra Leone are playing Equatorial Guinea. That will be a very mouth-watering game.
Considering they beat Algeria.
And both of them have chances of qualifying. So I think it's a hard game, very hard one to predict. But we'll wait to see. But they have a very linear chance of qualifying to the next stage.
Finally, last but not least, you've had this team. You've heard us talk about this team a lot. A team that has caused a lot of upsets and surprises in the AFCON tournament. That is Equatorial Guinea. Just a quick profile of their manager. That is Juan Micha, who was appointed in March 2021. Beat Tanzania to qualify for AFCON 2022. The big results are 2-0 versus Zambia, 1-0 versus Tunisia. He has 6 wins, 2 draws, two losses in a total of 10 games. Chilanji, Equatorial Guinea. Finally, we're talking about the team.
That is also another famous result, beating Egypt 1-0 at the AFCON. They were hosts for the 2012 and 2015 editions. They only qualified via the rights of being the hosts. But now in the this 2022 edition, they qualified by winning their group, beating Tanzania and the likes in their group. And when they came in, they were minnows. But they've shocked us with their result against Algeria, and I think they are a team to really look at in the next phase, because they are likely to qualify unless they just falter against Comoros. But I see them qualifying to the next phase, and they need to thank the coach for the good work that he's doing for them.
Okay. Sorry. Chilanji, as we wrap up this conversation very quickly, local coaches versus international coaches, where do you stand?
No, I'll always stand for local coaches.
Local coaches,
because from the evidence, the coaches we've analyzed, most of them are local.
Yeah.
We need to embrace the local managers, because you'll never see a European team employing an African coach.
That's true.
Never.
That's true. That's very true.
Never.
Yeah.
So
a clarion call to our football FA in Kenya, that is the Football Association, that is FKF, or the relevant bodies in the Ministry of Sports, that we need to believe more in our African players, or in our local players. I'll give you a very good example of a local coach, I beg your pardon, a local coach who are doing so well. One coach is the Kariobangi Sharks coach, that is Mluya. They call him Mluya. He did so well a while back. That was, I think it was 2018-2019 season. He did a superb job by bringing Kariobangi Sharks in top flight football, and they gave big teams such as AFC Leopards, Gor Mahia a run for their money. So the message that you're getting in today's episode is, let's trust more in our local coaches. Probably as we wrap up, the following are just some of the games that you need to watch out for tonight. That is Guinea-Bissau versus Nigeria, Egypt versus Sudan, Sierra Leone versus Equatorial Guinea, Ivory Coast, which is a do or die for Algeria, that is Ivory Coast versus Algeria. That game is going to be played tomorrow. We're going to be talking about that and much more in the next episode of the AFCON highlights. That's all the time that my director had allotted me. See you tomorrow, same place, same time.